Soap fans, Coronation Street, part 2 of the new segments of Coronation Street. I don't know if you can see my beautiful roses here. We are in the aftermath of Valentine's Day, but we haven't hit Valentine's Day in the soap yet. We're still trailing halfway through January, I think. So, Roy, who owns the cafe, Nina's his his niece's name. I couldn't remember his niece's name in the last segment. It's Nina, the little blonde goth girl. That's irrelevant in this segment, but I like to dot the I's and cross the T's and fill in the blanks, and that was a big blank last time. So, Roy has been writing to people in prison, which he's the completely the wrong character for. If ever somebody was going to bore somebody into a what do they call them? A shiv attempt on their life, it would be him. But also, he's not mentally strong's not the word, because Roy is very strong. He's not mentally adaptable enough to be writing to people in prison, and so open to manipulation. Anyway, he's got a list of pen friends that he's writing to in prison. Megan tells Will, who is the little boy, that she's pregnant to him. She started having an affair with him while he was still a minor. She's his coach, now his teacher, and we believe she's pregnant to him, but she could potentially be pregnant to Daniel, though it's very early days with Daniel, who's also a teacher at the school. She tells Will she's leaving town because she's going to be showing soon and she's got to hide this baby. Will gets all upset, says he'll earn some money, says he'll go with her. She says, no, horrified. But she's leading him up the garden path because we've just seen her in the abortion clinic having a termination. The producers seem to be, or the writers seem to be doing a thing. Did she have the abortion? Didn't she? But she must have done, because Leanne was with her. We don't see Leanne leaving the clinic before she goes in for treatment. So we can assume that she has had the abortion. All indicators point to that, but they do seem to be doing this, has she, hasn't she? But, you know, they haven't done it very well because Leanne was there. Leanne, in another storyline, she's a busy bee this week, is our Leanne. Her sister, half-sister, stepsister is now part landlady of the pub. So the pub is owned by Ben and his girlfriend, whoever she is, long blonde hair, Leanne's sister, and the matriarch, Harridan Irish mother-in-law, Maggie. So Leanne comes up, or Leanne and the girl, whose name I can't remember, I'll probably remember it in segment 3. The girl and Leanne come up with this plan to buy Maggie out. And Leanne's going to rent out her flat, or house, or wherever she lives. I think it's a flat. So they come up with this idea. They go to approach Maggie. Maggie hates being in the pub anyway, but she kind of doesn't. She says she hates it, but she's this great big interferer. She's one of the world's greatest interferers. Excuse me, first coffee of the day. Thank you very much, very sorry. So she interferes in everything and she kind of loves it. She likes playing the big messiah in the pub. So I don't think she wants to leave, but they've offered to buy her out anyway. Maggie does the whole, you just want me out to, oh, I nearly got a name then, the blonde girl. You just want to buy me out. You don't want me here. You want to get rid of me. Leanne goes to grab her bag that Maggie's sitting on. Maggie's sitting on a bar stool and Leanne goes to grab her bag, pulls her bag out, Maggie does this all hoo, 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 and falls on the floor, screaming, absolutely screaming the place down. You did this to me, you did this to me. Leanne, I think a character, no, her real name's Catherine. Leanne and whoever just stand looking at her, you idiot, you silly, silly woman. In another dark storyline, we have Jodie, who is Shauna's long-lost sister, who has come from nowhere. We know she was tied up in a van at the crash. We know that now. We don't know where she fits into the story. Apparently she's been being abused by her husband, boyfriend, other person. We don't know how much of this is true. She's a nasty piece of work. We've already gleaned that she's a nasty piece of work. I think she's going to try and come between Shauna and David. I think she's going to do the latching onto David thing and try and cause David to have an affair. Shauna's recently had an affair. Everybody has an affair at least twice a year. So Shauna's affair this year was with Kit the policeman. We have a moment where Jodie is in the house with Lily, and Lily is David's daughter, although I don't think she's his natural daughter. I think the wife who was mowed down in the street, I think it was her daughter, but he could be her natural father. So Lily, who's a different actress, she looked completely different 6 months ago. Lily is talking to Jodie, and Jodie says to her, you do know, don't you, that when, oh, Lily says, my mum's always at the hospital, she wants her to help with a homework project. And Shauna says, I can't, darling, I've got to go to Harper, Harper's very sick. Jodie says, I'll do it with her. Jodie's talking to her and gets in her head and says, you do realise, don't you, that when this baby comes, you're not going to matter anymore. They're going to love the baby so much more than you. Ah, does she say, I think she might say, you're not David's natural daughter. I think she might say that. So he's not going to love it as much as you, and Shauna will just have time for the baby. That's where we leave this segment. We will be back with part 3.